This is the latest from Rollroad. This is the Emma 3.0. It's built for power, it's built for speed, and it's built for big guys just like me. And if I could, I'd like to highlight that last point just for a moment. For reference, I'm about 350 pounds. It fluctuates at times between 350, 355, but the maximum payload on this bike is 450 pounds, which is gonna open up so many doors for a lot of people. And if you've done any amount of research when it comes to e-bikes or even just regular bikes, the maximum payload on a lot of those is 300 pounds. And if it's regular bikes, it's well below. So this bike solves a couple of problems for me personally. It'll probably help you out as well. One is the knees, you know, trying to pedal, trying to stay outside for longer and just kind of get your exercise and get your groove and not just feel exhausted and want to go home and ice your knees for hours on end. You know, having the torque sensor in this thing and having it kind of give you back what you're giving to it, it keeps you going longer rather than having to stop and take a million breaks, and it's just going to keep you going a lot longer. Another problem that this bike solves for me personally is my back, because, you know, it's not the best, it's not the worst either, but it's not great. And so by having a dual suspension, a lot of e-bikes, a lot of bikes in general, they just have the front suspension. That's all you get. This bike gives you a dual suspension, so you have that rear suspension. And so when you take those bumps, when you go off those curbs, it's a lot smoother than not having it. And it's greatly appreciated and definitely noted. That's for sure. That's the one thing I noticed immediately when I got on this bike. Having that rear suspension, it almost kind of felt like my tires were going out or something, because I was like, man, it's just taking those bumps so effortlessly. I was like, man, am I out of air? And I look at the back and I'm like, no, I'm not out of air at all. Like, the tire is full. It's just having that suspension, and it kind of just keeps you feeling very like smooth the entire time on the bike. This bike right here is loaded with a 1500 watt Bafang pseudo motor. It is powered by not just one, but two 52 volt 20 amp hour batteries, which are supplied by Eve Energy. And Eve Energy is the same company that supplies BMW with their EV batteries. Now, I drive a Toyota, so when I hear BMW, I think fancy immediately. And I'm just like, man, they have the same batteries that are put in those BMW EVs that are put in this bike right here. That tells me that these are high quality, and they're gonna last you a really long time. I can tell you that from other e-bikes that I've ridden, generally the range that I've seen has been somewhere between about 25 to 30 miles, and I'm done. Like, I can't go any further. And it definitely sucks, and I always wish that I had either a bigger battery or another battery on the bike, and Rollroad has that figured out. They got one right here, which is the one you kind of see in most e-bikes. They're usually right up here, but then they have another one right underneath the seat right here, which is very nice. It's like the secret battery. It's kind of what I call it. It's just right here, and it keeps this thing moving for a lot longer. It's going to take you a lot further. And actually, comment down below, hit a like on this video if you want to see me do the ultimate range test on this thing. We'll do that in another video. I want to keep this one more brief as a showcase, but let me know down below if you want to see the ultimate range test on this bike, and we'll put these batteries to the test. You've got your pedal assist button, which will ramp this thing up all the way to 5. Okay. Then you've got your headlight button, your power button, and your info button. The info lets you toggle between different features, which is pretty crazy. There you go. There's your display. So we'll go ahead, turn this on, take this, boom, now we're unlocked. Just like that. This horn was way better than I expected it to be. Now, if you've seen my channel before, you know that I love to add accessories to my e-bike. And one of the things Rollroad has done is they've made a lot of these things stock on their bike, which I really appreciate. We'll start off with the handlebar grips. They're very nice. They come with a wrist rest on them, so when you're doing those longer rides, It's very comfortable on your wrist, and it's just so grippy. You know, it feels like your hands just aren't going to go anywhere, and you feel like you have a really good handle of the bike at all times. Having a integrated headlight and turn signals, which you can see here at night, is really good. I mean, this thing is really bright, and it's definitely going to help you if you're, you know, on your way back home after a long day and you're riding this bike into the evening. You've got these lights. They're going to help you to be seen. There's also the lights in the back, the brakes, the turn signals in the back. It's pretty crazy to have all these features. So all in all, it's a pretty solid package from Roll Road. One of the optional things that you can add to this bike that I really like is the rear trunk. I find it to be very generous with the size and the amount of things that you can fit into this thing. I mean, look at it. My helmet fits in this thing. I can put camera gear in this trunk. It's just so nice to be able to carry this stuff around, and the way that it kind of, you know, bolts down onto the back, like you don't feel like it's going to go anywhere. I've had bags that I've strapped on to the rear of my bike, and those are cool, but this thing is very durable. It's very rugged, much like the bike itself, and it's got a lock on it. It's got, you know, the ability, the reflectors to be seen. So it's a very nice thing to have. And if you are maybe like an Uber Eats or a DoorDash person, you live in a city, this bike is gonna be amazing for you, the amount of food you could fit in this rear trunk. For more information on this bike, I'm gonna leave a link in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment. And you can just check out all the information on how you can pick up one of these bikes for yourself. I want to keep this very brief as more of a showcase, because I think we can do some other videos, but I want to get some feedback down in the comments below of what you would like to see. Maybe we could take this thing out on like the ultimate like range test and see what would happen when you put a bigger guy on one of these bikes with the dual batteries. I've mentioned before that I can do about 25 to 30 miles on a single bike battery, a battery that is smaller than this battery. So I'd love to see what this thing can do. If that sounds like something you'd want to see, make sure you tell me down below. And any other potential questions you may have, we can address those in a future video. But if you made it this far, I just want to stop what I'm saying right here and just say thank you for taking the time to check us out, for coming this far. Hit the like button if you got any sort of value out of the video. Hit subscribe if you want to see just a little bit more, and hit the bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. YouTube thinks that you're going to like this video right here, so be sure to click that, check it out. I will see you over there. Thanks for watching.